I used to think money was about numbers, about earning more, saving better, investing smarter, but then I had 3 conversations, and after them, I never looked at money the same way again. Each one came from a different kind of person, one rich, one poor, one truly free, and together they shattered everything I thought I knew about wealth. First conversation: the poor man and the illusion of effort. He was a man in his 60s working at a gas station, kind eyes, tired hands. I asked him how long he'd been working there. He smiled and said, 41 years. I asked, are you planning to retire soon? He laughed, not the happy kind, the resigned kind. He said, retire? I'll stop working the day they stop printing bills. At that moment, I realized something powerful. Poverty isn't just a lack of money. It's a relationship with time. He wasn't just selling hours, he was selling life fragments, one shift at a time, for currency that lost value faster than his body could recover. He said something that stuck with me forever. I've worked my whole life for money, but money never worked for me. That was the first conversation that broke me, because I saw myself in him. And maybe you do too. The man believed effort equals progress, but effort only equals survival when your system is designed to keep you running in circles. If this already makes you question your relationship with money, pause for a second and follow rich logic, because awareness isn't taught, it's remembered. Conversation 2. The Millionaire and the Cage of Comfort. Years later, I met a man worth tens of millions. Big house, private jets, staff, everything money could buy. I expected confidence. What I found was fear. He told me he checked his net worth 5 times a day. He feared losing it all. He feared being irrelevant. He feared silence. He said, money gives you freedom, but the wrong mindset turns that freedom into a new prison. That line hit me harder than any financial book ever could. He wasn't working for survival anymore. He was working for validation. The poor man was trapped by necessity. The millionaire was trapped by identity. He had traded one form of dependence for another. He showed me his office. Walls covered with screens, charts, portfolios, data. He said, if I stop paying attention, I lose everything. That's when I realized he didn't own wealth. Wealth owned him. He didn't buy freedom. He just bought a more expensive form of anxiety. The poor man was exhausted by labor. The rich man was exhausted by control. That's when I understood something most people never do. Money doesn't make you free. Perspective does. He told me, people think freedom means having options, but freedom is being at peace with any option. That was the second conversation, and it changed how I saw success forever, because I realized that the moment your peace depends on a number, you're not rich, you're rented. Conversation 3, the Invisible Mentor. The third conversation didn't happen in words, it happened in silence. It was with a man I never met, a billionaire investor whose name you'd recognize instantly. I watched him for hours during a shareholders meeting. He barely spoke, he just listened. He wrote notes slowly, almost meditatively. While others interrupted, debated, or tried to sound smart, he simply observed. I realized something profound. Wealth isn't loud because silence collects information faster than noise. He later said something in an interview that became the missing piece for me. Most people try to make money. The truly wealthy position themselves so money can't avoid them. That sentence changed everything. It wasn't about chasing opportunities, it was about becoming magnetic to value. You don't need to hunt wealth, you need to align with it. When I studied him, I noticed patterns. He didn't seek more. He refined less. He didn't act out of emotion. He waited for emotion to reveal opportunity. He didn't see risk as danger. He saw it as a mirror reflecting human behavior. That's when I understood the real secret of money. It's not logical, it's psychological. The poor man worked for it, the millionaire obsessed over it, but the truly free man understood it. He saw money as a mirror, not a master. And that's when I realized, the more emotional you are about money, the less of it you'll ever control. When I left that meeting, I didn't feel inspired, I felt disturbed, because everything I'd been taught was backwards. We think we need more effort. We actually need more clarity. We think we need more income. We actually need more discipline. We think we need to learn how to make money. We actually need to learn how to stop chasing it. The first conversation taught me that effort without direction is slavery. The second taught me that wealth without peace is suffering. And the third taught me that silence isn't absence, it's advantage. But here's the twist that no one told me. Money is neutral. It amplifies what's already inside you. If you're insecure, it makes you paranoid. If you're wise, it makes you powerful. If you're lost, it makes you louder. If you're grounded, it makes you unstoppable. The problem isn't the system, it's the mirror it holds up to your psychology. If this message is resonating, like this video and subscribe to Rich Logic. Because what we talk about here isn't finance, it's perception engineering. When I look back at those three conversations, I see three versions of myself: past, present, and possible future. The poor man showed me what happens when you give away your time. The millionaire showed me what happens when you give away your peace. The silent man showed me what happens when you take both back. Money, I learned, is not a goal. It's a feedback loop. It tells you how aligned you are with your discipline, your decisions, your emotions. When you chase it, it hides. When you respect it, it follows. When you detach from it, it serves. That's not mysticism, that's behavioral economics. Because the human brain interprets abundance and scarcity not through logic, but through emotion. Most people live in a state of financial fight or flight. They trade every calm decision for fast dopamine. They confuse movement with progress. And that's why silence feels uncomfortable to them, because silence removes the illusion of control. But if you can learn to sit in that silence, if you can wait without panic, if you can observe without needing to react, you'll start to notice something strange. Money starts to move toward you, because you've stopped chasing the symptom and started embodying the source. The three conversations taught me that money doesn't change your identity, it exposes it, it reveals your patience, your insecurity, your ego, and it punishes whatever you refuse to master. Money isn't just about what you earn, it's about what you can handle without losing yourself. Here's the paradox no one prepares you for. When you finally stop obsessing over money, you begin to attract it, because your energy shifts from scarcity to certainty, from fear to control. The poor man worked for money, the millionaire protected it, the billionaire ignored it until it grew on its own. That's the highest level of wealth, not owning things, but owning yourself. Because at that point, money doesn't define you, it obeys you. You stop existing inside its economy and start building your own. The world tells you to chase financial freedom. But freedom isn't found in numbers, it's found in detachment. You can have everything and still be broke, if your peace depends on what you can't control. And you can have nothing and still be rich, if you've mastered yourself. So if you remember anything from these three conversations, remember this. Money doesn't respond to emotion. It responds to clarity. The moment you stop asking, "How do I get rich?" and start asking, "Why do I want to?" you begin to reprogram your entire relationship with wealth. In the end, these three people taught me three laws. Effort without intention equals slavery. Wealth without peace equals suffering. Silence without purpose equals wisdom. Everything else is commentary. I used to think wealth was built in markets. Now I know it's built in moments. Moments of awareness, restraint, and precision, because in the end, money is just a mirror, and it reflects who you really are when no one's watching.